All right, this is a quick indoor demo of my kind of like, I don't know what you want to call it, spotting scope. Um, I'm sure I'll use these parts for other projects. It's kind of expensive to say this is only going to be a spotting scope. But the heart of this system is this, I don't know how you pronounce it. I'm sure there's the Chinese way, but I don't think anyone calls it that here. So the Fei Tech Qing gimbal, which is this massive, like super powerful gimbal for a big ass DSLR. Why anyone would use this, I don't know. I'm using it for a purpose it's not designed for, but it is the only thing on the commercial market that will do what I want it to do without too much custom stuff. So I'm using it, got a good deal on it. This was a used unit from B&H, so I got it like pretty cheap. Well, cheap compared to its MSRP. So here it is, the gimbal. It's turned on currently. I have a Nikon D500 crop sensor for the reach. It's got extra batteries for use in the field. Got a RS bracket on there for just holding shit. And then we have a Sigma 150 to 600. Currently, since I'm indoors and testing, I'm only setting it to 150. And then, let's see, we got a Benro, kind of a video tripod, has a 75 millimeter bowl. I can't remember. It's been a while since I set this up. And I got the add-on bottom part, I forget what it's called, for hanging sandbags instead of the usual pole. And then this is hooked up with a 15-foot USB 3 cable to my Dell field laptop running Capture One Pro. I haven't tried all the apps, but I believe this might end up being the best app to do this with, because it does obviously supports live view, and that's a big component of it. Here's the remote for the gimbal, and if I set this to fast, try to do this one-handed filming, you can see it moves when I rotate the controller. So I've got panning and I've got tilt. So 2-axis. It's currently set to fast mode. I'll set it back to slow mode. And then I just have a target in my bookshelf, a little print from Turtle Soup, just to have a target. And I'll just kind of show you what the intended use is. So I'll turn on the live view. It won't be named on it. And I'll use my remote to find that target. Auto exposure is gonna mess with this. And there it is. So now I've mechanically aimed at what I want to look at. You can do autofocus. That's already set to the correct focus for this. But the cool thing you can do is now I can actually do a kind of software crop in on the sensor and pan around the view without mechanically moving the camera or lens, so nothing shakes. Well, it'll shake in the wind and it'll shake from other environmental factors, but it's not going to shake from this panning action, because this panning is actually just happening on the sensor and not physically on the actual camera. And this is cool because then I can, look at two different things, get really close to something and then pull back without adjusting mechanical zoom or adjusting mechanical tilt and tilt and pan, which will cause a lot of image shake. Not at this magnification, but at really extended, when I have this thing out to 600 millimeters, it's gonna be shaking a lot if I'm, really cropped in and I want to move the camera. Mainly set this up because I was trying to do this like over HDMI with the back screen on the camera, and it was just really hard. I was getting a lot of shake because obviously manipulating anything on the camera itself will shake the camera. So I wanted to do something tethered, but then tethering with HDMI doesn't really let you do this kind of cool sensor crop thing where you get really close in on a small zone on the sensor. Can't really do that over HDMI. They just expect you to output the whole sensor image and then crop around that. But since the sensor has more resolution than just HD over HDMI, you can get a lot more detail by doing this kind of software crop over a tethered USB live view connection. So it took me about 2 years to experiment through all that, different cameras. I was already on a Nikon system, so this didn't throw me off too much. I did get a micro four thirds body to also test. I might try that later with a different lens. But this seems to be working pretty good. I've only got this set up for about a day, so haven't really played around with it too much. But it seems like once I get this out in the wild, it should be pretty cool. It is definitely more clunky to set up than like a spotting scope or whatnot, but it's fun, you know, get to do this. Whee. And this might actually be really cool on like if you're on like a boat or a slower moving vehicle. It'll actually automatically, since it's designed to be an auto leveling gimbal, if you set it to like an upward tilt of 3 degrees, it'll try to maintain that regardless of the orientation of the base. So if you have this set up on like a boat that's rocking in the water, it'll automatically track or at least try to maintain its aim, even though the platform or whatever it's on may be tilting. That's not really going to be something I'll encounter because I'm mostly going to be setting this up on stable ground, but it's a feature. So yeah, that's it. I'll probably do another video once I get this out into the wild. All right, bye.